That's where BURIRAM United goes in, locks away the Lee Sin as well as the Olaf from Owens, as he's shown to be quite a significant jungler when he gets those turn pick. BURIRAM United knows that they wanted the Twisted Fate. They're not going to allow it. Arshani now gets a very comfortable pick in his favor.
Ooh, but Boom Esports will most likely answer that with an Ari. And let's say Camille, Renekton, even, those two are open just to secure on the tops, but they're hover over this Ezreal for Owens.
Now, there's still a lot of
mobility
for the Baron lane while they immediately secure the Ezreal. Now, what exactly do they want to pair it with? There's going to be a really good poke potential coming in from Boom Esports, but it still takes a long while for the Ezreal to scale. And BURIRAM United, they see the Camille being opened up, the Renekton as well. Get all the strong man of champions. That's all that they want. Look at that. They're playing with... What are they showing here on screen? You go... I'm smitten already.
That was adorable. I say that was adorable. Yeah, the draft so far for BRU just screams damage, team fight. But now, I am very much happy to see a Darius on Boom Esports side paired with a Xin Zhao as well. Xin Zhao needs to most likely say hi, hello into the barrel lane side just to help tops from snowballing. Kinemon will be on this Lucian, so late game already secured.
Yeah, and still not that easy of a task to always go in for the Renekton. And to add pressure to the side of Boom Esports, you're looking at BURIRAM United going for the very first Lucian pick so far in this series. And also the pair with Nami, he's going to have a lot of good pokes and also great sustain. But he still wants Boom Esports, you know, they want to set the spark and maybe just detonate the bottom lane with enough pressure coming in from those pokes. And perhaps that might just be a go-to option as well if Boom Esports wants to focus down on that bottom lane.
Boom Esports, they need a spark. But now, they locked in fire. Let's see if the fire will be enough. But hey, looking at the supports, it's fire versus water. So, technically, supporter should be able to finish off this brand. I was kidding. The Lucian and Nami combo is definitely suppressive in the early game. Ezreal as well as this brand will have to be very careful, very more tactful in the early game.
I'm excited for this one because I'm looking at the side of Boom and they've said, you know what, it's back to basics. Let's look to try and play some comfort. They're going to go for the Darius. He's 5-0 in the Darius. I mean, that surely is a lucky charm. Fly Arthur himself is showing how great he is on that Ahri, so bring that one back into the equation as well. And it's almost as if what we say has power. Imagine that. The analyst desk know what they're talking about. I love life, don't we all? Fantastic times. Forehead in the chat. That's what we do. Let's throw it back to the casters and see if this is the game where Boom Esports can bring it back.
Thanks a bunch, Skimmy. Happy to be here, and it's a great day for more esports. Really happy to see you switch over. I think you fit being a caster much better than being West Side Story, but we know what? That's not for me to say. You can do whatever you want to do in your free time. Hoping to get to see you in the remake, though.
If we see Skimmy and he just like flicks open a knife like that, yeah, I think he could really pull it off. Like I know that tweet was shown and he like kind of felt like it was derogatory, felt like it was a bit of an insult. But I'm just saying he's got a real style, you know? He's a cool cat.
You said you acted in the play. Did you have a similar role to what you envisioned Skimmy would be in?
Yeah, but I didn't pull it off. Skimmy's like a cooler version of me. I'm living vicariously through Skimmy, and I think he would be great in my high school production of West Side Story.
Well, we're gonna push that aside for now, but Skimmy, you gotta show us that one day. Make sure you go full on for that look. Looking forward to see that happen. For now, game number 3 between Boom Esports and BURIRAM United. And BURIRAM sitting 2-0. They have the lead. They're on match point. They just need one more. And it's a very special day because it's Archie's birthday. He's happy to close this one out early and celebrate his birthday a little bit.
Love that for him. Want him to go ahead and come out on top. And they've got a decent draft for it. It's one of these CC comps that we're going to see a lot of. Twisted Fate, Nami, all the way.
Let's see how they play out this crowd control composition as game number 3 is underway. One more, and BURIRAM United will take this series.
So, talking through it again, you have what you're going to see a lot this tournament. The combination of Renekton, Twisted Fate, and Nami. These characters combo incredibly well with each other, because what they ultimately want to do is you find a gold card, you hit it with the bubble, you hit it with the Renekton, engage any combination of thereof. All of those stuns are very easy to chain, and they have decent damage to follow it up between the Camille dancing past the fight to the backlines, and the Lucian doing huge damage against the front.
Yeah, interesting little moves going with the Camille in the jungle. But Shiva's going to get spotted out early on. Nice moves by Fire there as well. To get some intel, I really like these adaptations, these very specific timing windows. You have to go and pop Scrying Bloom just to make sure you know where things are going to be. That being said though, BURIRAM United, they're going to change things around a little bit, bring in the Twisted Fate for themselves. Instead, have Flying Arthur play for the Ahri, play for the pick comp instead of trying to go for that Yasuo.
And this does give Boom a little bit of a lane advantage in this mid lane. Ahri is kind of a pain to play into as Twisted Fate once you get past level 3, because the Ahri can just get real close, land the charm, and full combo you. So BURIRAM are going to have to worry about that, and that's kind of the tone for the game. BURIRAM are going to need to worry about picks, individual finds that Boom can put together, because they have a ton of damage. This is a very high damage composition. Having said that, Boom don't have a ton of CC. They don't have a lot of control, which I think is going to make it kind of hard for them to team fight.
So critical for Tufts to come ahead as this Darius here if he doesn't. Like you mentioned, no crowd control and pretty difficult to lock and hold things in place. That being said though, we do see an interesting adaptations from both sides. As the top lane, it looks like Tufts gonna go down as BURIRAM go on the board with the first kill.
But down bottom, there's a dive here as well. Xiaoqi burning in. Can you get revenge? BURIRAM will be safe behind this turret. So top kill goes over to BURIRAM. Nothing's found down bottom. It's a worrying sign for a composition that is entirely reliant on their damage granted. If Boom don't have enough damage in these individual characters to assassinate people, it's going to be very hard for them to win fights.
And they're going to get double punished. Even further away for finding the damage that they need, as it looks like they gave up a little bit early. I think they expected Tufts to get into turret range.
Too short!
Just gives it away. Unfortunately, won't be able to find a second there.
And two entire waves crashed against that top turret while Tufts was being zoned down. Nobody came up from Boom to rescue him. That's kind of heartbreaking. It's going to put Tufts very far behind in this early game. You can see he's 400 gold behind Noel.
Yeah, off a single assist, and we're starting to see some of the difference between running that Camille and the Xin Zhao. You know, Xin Zhao, he has good trading potential. That's pretty tanky. He can deal a lot of damage at the same time. At the same time, Shiba, able to rotate around the map, has so much presence across the board, and we're feeling those impact the early state of this game. Ronaldo, look at this item. Okay, PF sword for the Xin Zhao, I have to think. Is he going for the Guardian Angel first? I don't quite like Guardian Angel first.
GA first works if you're snowballing. If you have an advantage and you just want to press it, GA works. I'm going to hold this thought.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to say GA works because it's like Xiaoqi, he's going to make it work. Take a kill for his own. Boom, eSports straight back with one.
And the GA works early because it lets you kind of not have to worry about defense. You can just keep pressing an advantage and win your aggression stats off of just your raw XP lead. But I don't know that Xiaoqi's in that kind of position right now, so I would be a little worried.
All right, well, gonna just kite around. Not able to get too much more done here, so just gonna play it safe. Rift Herald and Dragon spawn up, and BURIRAM United gonna make their way towards the Rift Herald. Looks like they prioritize this a lot more. You know, there's some... Oh my goodness, Kinemon gets caught out. Hands in his
this
pocket.
is a decent trade. This is a decent trade for Boom. Normally, of course, I talk about how important the Rift Herald is compared to the Drake. Boom just don't want to fight right now. They're in a disadvantaged position on the map, so they're right to not challenge for the Rift Herald. They will be able to convert the one-for-one trade and get the Drake. And they're going to be able to crush that wave down bottom, so they'll probably even trade turret for turret with this Rift Herald use up top.
We'll see if they can actually get even more than one. They have to be in the top side. It seems like Flying Arthur will rotate in time. Archie's in the mid lane. He's looking to make quick work with the tower as well. Okay, actually, Team Flying Arthur moving to the mid lane. So this is a window for BRU. If they want to pop the Rift Tower early, instead, I think they're just going to farm up and back off.
Yeah, so overall, an alright trade for Boom because they find that pick down bottom onto Kinemon. They do lose Tufts again, but Tufts is looking at a go next angle. Tufts, honestly, is just packing up his things and waiting for next game.
Oh my goodness, the fight ensues as BURIRAM United, they get the jump onto Boom Esports, but look at the collapse coming through. I don't think they have enough to fight this. They have to back away. It's a trade back as Zelzi will be the one to claim the kill for Boom Esports. Flash away from Archony, back on the turret, build some space, but it's too little, too late. Boom Esports come ahead with 2.
It's a damage comp, and BURIRAM need to be very careful about how they fight it. There they dump all of their damage into Gub, the support, who's not doing a lot right now. He'll be scary late game, especially given how we've seen Gub is playing, but he shouldn't have been the target in that fight, and because of the way BURIRAM chose to take it, they burn all of their really aggressive cooldowns and just end up running for their lives, while an Ezreal dumps damage into them, while a Darius hunts for picks, and that's going to give an even game back into Boom's hands.
Alright, and taking a look towards the Xin Zhao, I was entirely wrong. I had forgotten that BSL builds in the Starix Gauge, apparently. And, yeah, so that means Starix Gauge, the additional tankiness. We talked about how you can ignore the tankiness. I think that's, in fact, the opposite direction, making sure that you're topped up and able to soak up as much damage in these fights. I quite like this adaptations from Xin Zhao's in these games.
And it's very important because, again, they don't have a ton of CC, so you need to kind of physically tank that damage.
And towards the bottom side, they're trying to make something happen, but it seems a little bit too tight. I don't think BURIRAM United can force the issue. Rift Herald's still available for Shiba, so I'm curious where they're going to use that.
In the middle of the map, there's a little bit of a zoning battle going on. You're right to flag the existence of the Rift Herald. I think you probably want to dump that gold into either Archony, the birthday boy, or Kinemon. Here we go.
Okay, interesting stuff from Zelzi. He finds a decent amount of damage, but when it becomes lightning tagging onto Shiba, could fall through with the audacious charge. Gov joins in, but he's flashing forward the Pyroclasm, matched by the tidal wave. The damage is pouring through, but still too early for Gov to come entirely online. Chusha Barrage puts them so low, but BRU get away.
So Porter's tidal wave stops Gov from landing the full combo, and that's the difference between life and death there.
Beautiful moves coming through from Kinemon, kiting away from Fly Arthur. But there we go. They jump on Noel, looking for the first kill, but he barely misses out on it. Gov might get taken down, but the flash forward, the hell, Owen's going in deep, takes down Noel, and they cannot trade back here.
And again, in this fight, cost BURIRAM as Noel dives past the damage threat of Owens to try and chase down Gov. On the TP and Archony gold cards Gov rather than the instant threat of the Ezreal who's hurting his pet Crocodile. And all of this leads to Boom edging out another team fight in the middle of the map. As the Indonesian region roster has just picked up win after win in the fight off of their raw damage.
Changing things around, Boom Esports looking much better form going into game number 3.
We've got a Drake coming up here, 3 seconds before this Cloud Drake, and I favor Boom in the team fight. BURIRAM are making a very clever call, summoning this Rift Herald to force Boom to choose between their turrets and the Drake itself. They'll have to time the play well.
But Archony doesn't have his destiny for this fight, so going to be a little bit late to respond, to rotate over to the Dragon if they have to. Shiba loses so much health in the process. Dragon's looking ever more difficult to contest for, but Boom Esports are going to back away. They're going to walk to the mid lane, but BRU's just going to reset.
Yeah, BURIRAM kind of waste that Rift Herald there. They do get a charge, so it's some gold onto Shiba, but nobody else. And Boom, you better believe they can burn this Drake.
Yeah, going down quickly, and Shiva's just a little bit too far away, but in the meantime, Archony, Noel, they're making quick work of the barreling as well. Trying to trade back here, so no Dragon, but they say that's okay, we're gonna get the turrets instead. Supporter, he's gonna have to run for his life, gets back in the river, fish in water, and then send natural habitat, make sure they're safe.
And because of the way all of this works out, it's essentially 2 turrets for 2 Drakes, because remember that Rift Herald was the trade for the Drake earlier.
Sure.
And I think a turret for a Drake is a kind of negative trade for BURIRAM. They wanted a little bit more momentum out of this early game. Because the problem with playing into damage comps is they hurt, especially in the late game.
Oof, this isn't looking too good, but Hex Ultimatum, beautiful moves to get over the wall as they take down Gov. He actually goes golden to survive and buy a little bit more time. Culling comes through, but it's a Culling and a retreat. They have to back off because right there, Xiaoji jumps on the Chow, lands on the supporter, but it's Noel pulling the trigger, pops the Dominus, step back into the front line, looking to take them down. Great slice, great call of the Meek to get a double kill. But Tufts is coming online now with enough crowd control. The Darius is held in place and sent back to base. They cannot hold off against BURIRAM though, as the gold card comes through, finding the distance. A beautiful flash forward, the hook shot with a tactical sweep, and Archie comes in as well with the blue card to confirm the team ace.
Excellently played by BURIRAM. They recognize that they're heading towards a late game where Boom Esports might outdamage them, so they win the team fight off of crowd control, off of chain CC, forcing an overextension, forcing an early stasis from Boom Esports, and consistently managing to have a functional player advantage in the fight due to their focused fire, due to their stuns, due to the stasises they're forcing. It all starts here as Shiba is out of position, but he lands Hextech Ultimatum onto Gov, lines that up with the Tidal Wave, and you go, okay, well, we can just drop the culling on Gov, spend it over with this gold card. This is right now a 4v2 functionally in this fight. Now it's a 4v3, and Noel dives into the backline, instantly finds a double kill because those players are low, and from this point forward, BURIRAM have a player advantage.
And we had so many questions on where Boom Esports kind of fell into place, asking ourselves, you know, taking down Divine Esports in a very interesting fashion, how they were able to perform this competition. And going into this one, it looks like BRU really are looking like the top seed out from Bracket A. Boom Esports, though, are holding on very well. They're showing us great tenacity. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said about Tufts, who's taken down next. He's the next target of focus. They're moving on to Noel, though. He goes golden, gets away from the chop, but he's in between three, and the turret will eventually go down.
It's traded, though. Middle of the map pressure gets shoved all the way up past the tier 2, and this is going to mean that BURIRAM can start this Baron, and they will kill it very quickly with the Lucian. It needs to be interrupted. Here comes Boom for the game.
They're trying to contest for this Baron. This is the all-important one. If things go the way of Boom Esports, they might have a chance, but instead, BRU will pick up the first dragon moving into match point.
So, Baron in the hands of BURIRAM. This is the game, and by that I mean BURIRAM have a window here with the Baron where their shove is more impactful, much more impactful than the amount of damage Boom can pump out. That's not going to last forever. So they kind of need to win on this shove, and they certainly need to get enough damage here that Boom can't threaten for this upcoming Drake.
Playing into a much smaller window. I think this is a point where BRU do have a couple of big item spikes, though. So that's definitely going to help their case.
This is a good win time.
Definitely helps their case.
This is where BURIRAM are like strongest this entire game. From here, it's only going to get harder, so they must shove in these waves now.
Yeah, things are looking a little bit dicey for Boom Esports. I mean, we see the Dragon coming online, but I don't even think that's in the sight of BRU. They've given up that bomb side. The map says, yeah, we only really have to play for the Baron, the Rift Herald. Make sure that we're scaling up and getting strong, and we're making Boom Esports deal with our threats instead of this.
But they're not finding any turret damage really yet. That's worrying.
Very strong crowd, very strong wave clear from Boom Esports, zoning them off, and feels like the addition of this Darius has helped them out a lot. Unfortunately, things aren't looking so great in the other lanes. Bomb side being broken open by Shiba, who might go down in all honesty. They're looking a little bit low. Has to kind of get away. Flash away from Archini. In fact, over the mid lane. There we go. They're trying to come in onto the mid lane. Nice tidal wave on the floor. Finds great amount of damage. Unfortunately, the Crescent Guard is going to block them. Stop the engage. Stop the siege. Stop BRU in their tracks.
A beautiful tidal wave from supporter saves BURIRAM, and then Boom are equally saved by the Crescent Guard from Xiaoqi. Now for the Drake, BURIRAM are going to take it, and that removes some of the value that Boom could have gotten from an Elder, but that is still a win condition. So to take stock of this game, BURIRAM did crack an inhibitor. They have that mid inhibitor, incredibly vulnerable. It can just be stepped up and broken at any time, and that might be enough for BURIRAM to finish it. They're going to need a major objective to do so, though, or a one-team fight around a major objective. So watch this posturing as we head towards the next Baron, as we head towards the next Elder. BURIRAM either force a 5v5 and win it here, or they're gonna be in trouble as Boom continue to get stronger and stronger. This could get very dicey headed into the late game.
Yeah, BURIRAM, they're stacking on the pressure for sure, and Boom Esports, we're looking to see how much weight they can hold on to. This is late day for Boom Esports. They're trying to do the best that they can to make sure that they give a good series over the BRU. Fortunately, or fortunately, if depending which side you're rooting for, BRU is looking to find the straw that'll break the camel's back over by the side. Noel is down towards the bottom lane. He's looking to take down Tufts here, and even with all the power that Darius brings and the force to the table, won't be able to hold on. They're moving on to the Nexus. Now it's been broken open. All 3 turrets gone. The inhibitors down and all onto the Nexus, but they don't quite have enough to take them off and push them off the Nexus. Boom Esports with a great defense, taking down one, finding a potential second, force them, route them up to the top side, still trying to hold on for dear life. Archony trying to make a captain's play will get shoved off. Boom will live to see another fight.
They'll live to see another fight, and there's the demonstration of that team fight value I was talking about, the damage on hand for Boom Esports. But it probably is too little too late, because you have all 3 inhibitors broken, super minions pouring out of the BURIRAM base. And what do you do if you're Boom Esports? How can you possibly contest a Baron? If a Baron is picked up here by BURIRAM, they just need to walk into the base and let the super minions do the work. Boom won't be able to stop that.
And it's been a great showing, honestly, through and through from BURIRAM United, showing their macro, being able to execute so well. Moving into this game, really liking what we've been seeing. Boom Esports have brought out a couple of interesting ideas and interesting picks. South Sea has been a very, bit of a wildcard kind of player. Brought a lot of information and new ideas here. Up in the top side, Noel, he's going to be waiting. He's waiting for this catch. He's jumping back onto Noel. Trog Owens, in fact, looking to take him down right away. And send the Renekton. He's putting down low, going to get chunked out. Taken down, sent back to base. It's now 4 versus 4. You sent Owen away. Sent Flying Arthur out of commission. Not able to join back into despite his guff. Going golden to survive and buy time. Unfortunately, falls as well. Celsi will be the next to go. And Boom Esports have lost all their critical members. BURIRAM moving into the base. And that should be it. BURIRAM United find a 3-0 sweep over Boom Esports.